Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.
That's right, Taylor 500 help for all of your needs when it comes to heating and plumbing and air conditioning and duct cleaning and home energy and comprehensive maintenance plans and financing. They do it all. It's time to get ready, because if your water heater goes, then where are you going to be? Call Taylor now for their Plumbing Safety Essentials Plus plan. Save $100 on a Bradford White water heater and get free diagnostic fees and no overtime charges on emergency repairs with an additional 15% discount. You know, Taylor's been around since 1947. They know a thing or two about heating and plumbing. So call them and they'll make things happen for you. That's Taylor 500 help. And if you're looking for a job, Taylor 500 help is looking for HVAC techs, plumbers, project managers, and office personnel. So give them a call. Taylor 500 help. Precision Lawn and Garden, 195 North Avenue in Webster. They're open weekdays 8 to 5 and Saturday 9 to noon. If you need a lawnmower or a chainsaw, these are the people to go to. If you're thinking about winter and, don't, because it's still August, but you need to be prepared. Snow blowers, blowers, chainsaws, all that, lawnmowers, new models, on sale models, all Stihl products, Cub Cadet, Ferris, and Toro. That is what Precision Lawn and Garden carries. They've been around servicing the area since 1969. So go up and see my friends Kimberly and Justin, and they will make it happen for you. And if you want your driveway to look fantastic, Express Sealers. Nothing makes your curb appeal look nicer than a freshly sealed driveway, and they go everywhere. It looks amazing. Call Express Sealers because they are the best in the business. They protect your investment. They power trim your edges. They treat grease spots. They have thick, professional, hand-applied, commercial-grade seal coat. They do a wonderful job, and your driveway will say, hey, look at me. I'm pretty. That's right. So it's 645-2010. 645-2010. That's Express Sealers, and we hope that you support our advertisers because they support us.
Live from the We the People broadcast studio in sunny 75-degree Irondequoit. It's a Tuesday.
It is.
Here's our little bit of sunshine.
Aww.
Kimberly Ray.
Aren't you sweet? I even have yellow on.
Right.
The sun is shining. Yeah, it's nice. It is nice today.
Will come out.
Yeah, it was nice yesterday too. It's been like 2 days of heaven in upstate New York, so we'll take it. And
that's all we get. 2 days of heaven.
2 days of heaven. That's it. Where it's not raining and the wind's not blowing and it's not cold, but we will take it because it is picture perfect weather right now. I mean, I look at this and I think, the rest of the country is roasting, but we are feeling pretty good here in upstate New York, and so we're grateful for that. Hey, it's just Tom.
That's me.
He is sitting in with
wear it out.
with me today, as well as Austin. Hey, Austin, how are you?
Hi, Austin.
Good. How are you?
There's Austin. He always has the picture of himself. He's right there. He's ready to go. Where's Austin?
I wasn't ready.
There he is. Hi, Austin.
Hello.
There he is. He's ready to go. So, yeah, it is Kimberly's Revolution and the We the People podcast network. We are glad that you guys are here. We're glad that you guys are watching. The name of the and by the way, before I get to the name of the show, thanks to Fitz at Rockbox Productions. Rockbox Productions is off over in Bushnell's Basin. He makes sure that everything runs right here on the We the People podcast network. He supplies Austin, which we are grateful for. And if you or your company, any of your friends want to get together and do a podcast, Fitz at Rockbox Productions, ROCVOX.com. He is the guy to go to. All right, we're going to cover a lot of things today, like why you should probably have a property inspection done, but no one's really doing them anymore because people want houses and there's low inventory and it's tough to ask for an inspection. But I'm going to tell you why a little bit later on in the program about why you might need a property inspection.
All right.
It's going to save you money in the
So
long run.
we're gonna go over latent defects today.
and then we're going to talk about why all of a sudden is it racist if you don't want to go to a restaurant or business that requires proof of vaccination, and you say you're not going to go to that particular location or business to give them your hard-earned money. Why all of a sudden is that racist?
I think everything's racist.
Is everything racist?
Everything's
We're
racist.
just lumping everything into the racist basket.
Is that our name of our show today? Everything's racist?
No, it's stupid. It honestly is stupid. And I'm going to break down that story coming up in just a little bit. We've also got a video story of a guy on a plane. It's not like the song.
Is it another brawl?
He was drunk on a plane, but he was also arrested, and we've got the little bit of video on what he was doing. And we're also going to talk about our director of the Department of Health, Michael Mendoza.
McDonald's is in the news again.
Yeah, and telling everyone, hey, you should be vaccinated, and if you're not, you need to mask up. But oddly enough, he's not masked. But I think the very important thing right now is that, our governor of the state of New York is asking people to go knock on doors and drag people in cars and get them to a place where they can get vaccinated. He's mandating that New York City establishments require that you show proof of vaccination before those businesses let you in. But here's a guy who's been groping and feeling up women for the last couple of years, and he doesn't think he's done anything wrong. So today's show is Cuomo won't quit, because the New York State Attorney General came out today and said, hey, yeah, our governor has kind of been a very bad dude. He has been behaving very poorly when it comes to women. The Attorney General's report of the state of New York said that, he kind of sexually harassed a lot of women. And then when they didn't go along with the program, he obviously, went back and made things hard on them. So that's where we are today.
Yeah, that's not much of a surprise there. I don't think there's any news.
I mean, he
that came out today.
So he would sexually harass these women, and then he would retaliate against them. So a lot of people are saying, where is the indictment from the Attorney General?
Right, there was none.
There is no criminal indictment, because she's leaving that up to the local district attorneys.
Right.
Why should the Attorney General of the state of New York bring a criminal indictment when it was actually her buddy who had her look into the whole sexual allegation, bring it to a civil investigation, the civil probe? And basically she said, yeah, okay, we found that he sexually harassed these women and it's bad, but it's not really my job to bring the indictment. Yeah,
our case is closed. It's over.
Right.
We did our job. Let the next guy figure out what to do with them.
And in a publicized video response that was done without reporters, so they didn't get the chance to ask any questions because he had recorded it I don't know when. He basically knew that the Attorney General was going to come out because, they're all in cahoots together. And I'm thinking she probably wants to be governor, right? But he's not going to step down because Governor Cuomo said he didn't do anything wrong. His words, and Becky says quite simply, it simply didn't happen. That he hugs women, he kisses women, but it's a cultural Italian thing. Here is the Attorney General of the state of New York in her speech that happened this morning around 11 o'clock.
He's obviously not going to quit, right?
No, he's not going to quit.
So how many Democrats are going to sign up to impeach him when he's lined their pockets for years?
For years. There's a couple that have come forward on both sides that said he needs to go, but it's clearly, the silence is kind of deafening from the majority. Can we hear the Attorney General?
The independent investigation has concluded that Governor Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women, and in doing so violated federal and state law. Specifically, the investigation found that Governor Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed current and former New York State employees by engaging in unwelcome and non-consensual touching and making numerous offensive comments of a suggestive and sexual nature that created a hostile work environment for women. The investigators independently corroborated and substantiated these facts through interviews and evidence, including contemporaneous notes and communications. This evidence will be made available to the public along with the report. This investigation was started after a number of women publicly alleged that they had been sexually harassed by Governor Cuomo. And on March 1st of this year, the governor's office made a referral to my office pursuant to State Executive Law 63.8 regarding these allegations. Executive Law Section 63.8 permits the New York Attorney General's office, with the approval of the governor, or when directed by the governor, to inquire into matters concerning the public peace, the public safety, and public justice.
So there you go. So basically she said, he asked me to look into it. I looked into it. Yeah, we found he sexually harassed these women, but I'm not going to bring the criminal indictment.
Right.
I'm the Attorney General of the state of New York, but
Yeah, we'll let somebody else do it.
got to go to the county. Is it Albany County? Is it the county in Albany that is, or New York City, wherever? And I think these allegations of sexual harassment occurred in both Albany and New York City. So here you have a guy that's just a dirty guy. He's just a dirty old man. That's what he is, right? I mean, not along Cosby lines, because Cosby like drugged women and then had sex with them.
I think that's a new level there.
But this guy, not like Clinton bad, because Clinton, you know, did this with a number of women, you know, over the years, including Monica Lewinsky. But the fact of the matter is, it's a wrong and bad thing to do. It is a wrong and bad thing to do.
For the most part, most people probably believe his apology, that he, you know, that's just who he is and he's been that way forever. But at some point you have to change your lifestyle, right?
Yeah. The probe involves accusations that Cuomo harassed several current and former female staffers who were in their 20s or 30s at the time.
Yeah.
So the most serious allegation is that he had one of his aides come to the executive mansion office in Albany and he put his hand up underneath her shirt. I can't foresee any reason why he would ever do something like that. What did she lose?
Yeah, maybe he didn't have his glasses.
I mean, I have no idea. But Cuomo came out today, and basically the name of the show is Cuomo Won't Quit, because he's not quitting.
No.
Will they be able to impeach him? I don't know. It has not been as loud only a couple of assembly members, some Democrats and Republicans, only a few have said he needs to go. It's not nearly the deafening noise that we need to hear.
So he's guilty of being a creepy old guy.
But I'll tell you what, if it were Trump, they would have already arrested him and he'd be on his way out.
Yeah, if it was Trump, it would be
so
24/7.
Governor Andrew Cuomo maintained today, by the way, while he's trying to take your freedoms away, he's saying, I didn't do it. And you know what? I can't be blamed for who I am.
Right.
I am who I am.
I'm just a creepy old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how many cross the line on this, but he's definitely guilty.
They better be crossing the line.
He admitted
quickly.
it. He admitted that he's a creepy old guy. That's what he admitted.
Speaking on video without reporters to ask questions, the governor was adamant in his denial. And he says, I want you to know directly from me that I never touched anyone inappropriately or made inappropriate sexual advances. Well, sir, I think sticking your hand up underneath an aide's shirt is inappropriate touching.
Yeah, he was just trying to get a fly.
Stick your hand up someone's shirt.
He saw a spider run up there.
Now, the video where he was at a wedding and he was, kissing the girl. I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, just that looked uncomfortable. Now, I don't know if that's just the governor being the governor, but the sticking the hand up the shirt is not normal behavior appropriate for the workplace. You should have been doing that with your living girlfriend, Sandra Lee. Maybe that's why she left. Do you think? They broke up because Sandra Lee knew exactly what Governor Andrew Cuomo was all about? And I'd love to see the spin from his brother on CNN. But we're not going to hear about that. We're not going to hear about that. The whole thing is ridiculous. Cuomo went on directly to respond to the source of some of the allegations laid out in the independent report that Attorney General Letitia James, including those of former staffer Charlotte Bennett, who said that the governor asked probing questions about her sex life that left her convinced that he wanted to sleep with her.
And he said he did it because she was a former victim of sexual assault.
Yeah, he said that he
wanted to help her.
He only was trying to be supportive,
right?
Because she's a sexual assault survivor, and he was just trying. But that's weird when your boss asks you about your sexual relation. This is none of your freaking business. Why are you having this conversation with an underling in your office? I mean, it would be weird if you asked me about any of my, what I do in the privacy of my bedroom with my husband.
Yeah, that's not happening.
That would be weird.
It's bad enough that I just got to go get your box out of the closet. That's as far as I'm going to go.
I know, right?
Right.
But no, then he says directly talking to her on the video, Charlotte, I want you to know I am truly and deeply sorry that I brought my personal experience into the workplace.
Yeah, they're all going to get paid, right?
Oh boy. Cash for
grab.
Should he step down? Absolutely, he should step down. Will he step down? Cuomo won't quit. This is behavior that has been going on forever and enabled by the majority of Democrats that have, kind of slid up next to the slimy guy that he is. You're all in the slime pit together. You're all as guilty as Cuomo is if they supported Cuomo.
Yeah, let's see how much pressure they can put on these assemblymen and senators to vote for impeachment.
You should hear the thumping of the war drum by now. The thumping of the impeachment war drums should be going on right now. You don't hear anything. Oh yeah, we think it's bad what he did, but you don't hear anything else.
Well, I'll tell you why.
You hear maybe from 5 people in the state of New York, out of Albany and various counties. Yeah, he's a bad guy. He should quit, but he won't quit.
They've already done their straw poll. They already know, who's going to vote for and against it. So if he knew right now today on their straw poll that he was done, that they had the votes to impeach him, he probably would have bowed out. But there must be some question as to whether or not they have the votes to get rid of him, and they're going to have to work on them. So who are they going to pay off? In other words, they're going to have to pay off some people to get their vote.
Question.
Right.
Again.
So there's going to be some bridges built. There's going to be some stadiums built. There's going to be some things done to get people to vote.
Built?
Well, there's going to be some things done to get somebody's vote,
to get this to go away,
right,
so that he doesn't get impeached.
Right.
You're absolutely
right. We might get a nice tunnel somewhere in Penfield. Who knows?
The wheeling and dealing is going on now as we speak.
Right.
I'm sure the wheeling and dealing and it's as crooked as it can possibly be is going on in Albany as we speak.
Right.
There are people
posturing,
thinking, what can we get if we stand behind Cuomo?
Right.
And they're making a list. It's like it's Christmas time in Albany. Okay. Dear Mr. Cuomo,
yeah,
I want a nice big stadium in Buffalo.
Right.
Dear Mr. Cuomo, I want a giant field of fracking rights for, whatever,
right,
like you said yesterday. Dear Mr. Cuomo, Santa.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They're putting together their Christmas list in Albany because they know they're going to get paid.
If he knew today that he didn't have at least a chance at the votes, he would resign. I mean, what's the point of dragging it out?
And he,
he doesn't think they're going to get him.
We went.
I mean, I don't know. He's the governor of New York. He's been a politician his entire life.
Yeah.
He's from a family of politicians.
Exactly.
So I think arrogance is kind of his thing, right?
Well,
I mean, is it he's just arrogant and he doesn't think that they're going to get him, or does he know that they're not going to get him?
I don't know. It's like you know, I don't like to psychologize, but guys like this,
Wait a
they're
minute,
like
what?
you know, politicians are sociopaths almost.
Sure.
They think that their behavior is normal and their behavior is not normal. They see them as the good guy. Cuomo thinks he's the good guy,
Sure he
and
does.
everyone else, they're the bad guys. And that's how sociopaths think. They think that their criminal behavior is okay and that they're never going to get caught.
All right. Memo to local politicians.
That's why they do what
we
they
need
do.
a new soccer stadium.
Yeah, right.
Right. Let's go for it.
We would like we need another Major League Baseball team
Yeah.
in the state of New York.
Let's put a new soccer stadium out in Greece, someplace people will actually go, and let's actually get the Rhinos here, and let's have a you know, a Major League Soccer stadium.
But people are going to start getting a lot of fun things that they wanted on the wish list. Things are going to start coming, you know, to areas of just for the basic support of Cuomo. Don't think it isn't happening, because that's how it's going to work. Kevin says he probably thinks that the women were asking for it. He probably thinks that the women were wanting it. Not that they were asking for it, but that
I don't think that.
But that he thought he was so good looking and powerful
I don't even
that they
think
weren't
that.
going to turn him down. But if you want sex like that, hire a high price call girl like the one guy did. Spitzer. Yeah.
You brought her.
Exactly. But you know, it was Cuomo behind this whole thing of, you know, when all the women got together a couple of years ago and the Hollywood producer was, you know, was coming, you know, they brought the hammer down on him. You know, Cuomo was right there saying these women should be heard. These women should be able to have a voice. And now all of a sudden he's doing the same thing. Hey, I didn't do it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously everything here is disgusting and wrong, but I actually, you know, from somebody who thinks that he lies every time he gets up in the morning, I kind of think he's telling the truth here. He just doesn't, you know, he's just not in tune. You know, he thinks he's above the law to some degree.
Oh, shit.
And he just, he went along with his life like he always does, thinking nobody's going to care. Hey, he's just the creepy old guy. And everybody goes, yeah, that's
You
Cuomo.
Can't do that.
That's Cuomo. He's a creepy old guy.
No, that is not acceptable. Putting the hand up someone's shirt.
It's not acceptable.
No, but it's not.
But I believe him when he says that he didn't really mean any harm by it. He's just a creepy old guy.
Again, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. You and I are going to have to agree to disagree, because I think he knew exactly what he was doing. And I think he knew, you know, that he was going to get away with it. That's what I think.
Oh, I think he thought he was going to get away with it. Yeah,
definitely. But the fact
and
that
I don't think he's a victim. I mean, he didn't really play the victim card, did he? He just kind of said, this is who I am. And, you know, I apologize for it.
Right.
He didn't say he's a victim of
Now, I didn't see his video response. And again, but you know, it wasn't recorded today. I'm sure it wasn't recorded today. I'm sure he knew that the attorney general was going to come down with her findings today. And I'm sure he and his team put that together, but he's crooked as hell. He's dirty.
Oh yeah.
And he's a sexual harasser, and he's the governor of the state of New York that's taking away your freedoms. He wants the freedom to do whatever he wants. He wants the freedom to sexually harass people and then retaliate against them when they dare to speak up. But he doesn't want you to have basic freedoms.
What's the saying? What's the old saying?
Thing.
Don't wish what you ask for, or what's that saying? You know, in other words, who's coming up next? You know?
Oh,
yeah. This might get worse, not better, right? If we get rid of him, you know, we know the enemy. We know
the lieutenant governor is Kathy Hochul.
Yeah. How is she
from this area? I don't know. You know, lieutenant governors for the state of New York don't really do a whole lot. They go around and they hold babies, and they're at ribbon cuttings for businesses. And that's basically all they do.
How many votes can she drum up to get rid of him? How bad does she want to be governor? Right. There's some inside power play going on here.
Can we hear from the attorney general again, please? The attorney general of the state of New York, who again did not bring an indictment today.
The independent investigation has concluded that Governor Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women, and in doing so violated federal and state law. Specifically, the investigation found that Governor Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed current and former New York State employees by engaging in unwelcome and non-consensual touching and making numerous offensive comments of a suggestive and sexual nature that created a hostile work environment for women. The investigators independently corroborated and substantiated these facts through interviews and evidence, including contemporaneous notes and communications. This evidence will be made available to the public along with the report. This investigation was started after a number of women publicly alleged that they had been sexually harassed by Governor Cuomo. And on March 1st of this year, the governor's office made a referral to my office pursuant to State Executive Law 63.8 regarding these allegations. Executive Law Section 63.8 permits the New York Attorney General's office, with the approval of the governor, or when directed by the governor, to inquire into matters concerning the public peace, the public safety, and public justice.
So here we have a big backer of the hashtag Me Too movement, and he doesn't think that the rules apply to him.
Right.
Governor Cuomo can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants.
Do as I say, not as I do.
No big deal.
Rules for thee, not for me.
Because now local police forces and district attorneys are going to have to take it upon themselves to bring indictments and charges against him. That's what that attorney general just did.
Right.
It's not on my back.
You know what I just thought of?
I don't want to do the work.
I mean, I know everything's in a Zoom meeting or online now, but could you imagine if you were taking your CE class on sexual harassment and the governor walked in while you were sitting at your little, eating your Snickers bar?
Cuomo's minions are afraid of him. I think some of them are. We've said that before. He is famous for retaliation, just like Mayor Lovely Warren. Famous for retaliation, and people are afraid. And that's why we are where we are, because people are afraid.
Yeah.
He can make or break careers.
He sure can.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the machine behind him in order to make or break careers, not only of reporters who dare to ask him questions. And we've seen how he treats reporters when they ask questions that he doesn't like. Mm-hmm. He gets bitchy and snippy and makes it and makes it about the journalist asking a bad question. So no one asks the really tough questions because they're afraid.
Yeah, they did it to Trump and he would just insult them. But, Cuomo they know they won't come back. So
there you go. Bill de Blasio just said it's not off the table that he'll run for governor. Oh, help us all.
Yeah. That's what I said.
All.
Don't
I know.
Ask what you're going to wish for here.
The devil is better than the one you don't.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So Cuomo won't quit, and it doesn't look like he's going to unless they physically force him out.
Yeah.
He's staying. He's not going.
For now. I think
for now.
Normally in this situation, I would be like, I don't know, but I think he's gone. I think they'll figure out a way to get rid of him.
You think so?
It depends which side's got more money to pay off who.
So New York City is going to mandate vaccination for indoor dining and indoor shopping.
Well, I got one other thing on that before you move topics.
Okay.
Anything on what Bloomberg says on this? I mean, he's the guy with the money, right? He's the backer of the political parties.
I haven't heard from Bloomberg unless he's made a comment while we were here.
How bad does Bloomberg want Cuomo out? Because he's the one that can buy everybody off.
That's very bad.
Right?
That would be very bad.
Well,
don't you think?
He's the power guy. He's the money.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
So New York City is mandating vaccination for indoor dining for anyone that comes to their businesses. Yeah, impeach him. We get it. But you know what?
Got to have the votes.
You don't hear the impeach drums, loudly at this point in time. So a friend of mine posted something on Twitter, and I guess
it wasn't me, right?
There's a restaurant.
Are we friends now?
There's a
Wait a minute. Am I your friend?
there's a restaurant. Of course, you're my friend.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Of course, you're my
Who
friend.
knew?
I know. But you won't be if you hang up on me like you hung up on me yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
No, I'll just.
Kimberly Ray's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Nice. Who
You
knew?
got a friend in me.
I didn't know.
So
I just thought I was showing up every day waiting to get fired.
So a friend of mine responded to this tweet. There's a business in town. It's like a restaurant / entertainment.
So it's a strip joint.
Area. It is not a strip joint.
Okay.
It is not a strip joint. I don't know if you've ever been there. I've been there twice.
strip joint?
It is not a strip joint. So with that said, I guess this guy said, I'm going to mandate that anyone who comes to my business here in Rochester, New York, that's right downtown, you will have to show proof of vaccination. And so I guess he received many phone calls that said what you're doing is akin to what the Nazis did to the Jews in Germany. And he said to that caller, my parents barely survived the Holocaust and they're of Jewish descent, right? So and this was all posted on Twitter, which is a hellhole, as we all know.
Sure is.
And so a friend of mine who owns a restaurant said, hey, listen, he can do whatever he wants with his business. He's just following orders. Right? Which is what really all the guards of the, camps in Nazi Germany said, that they were just following orders.
From the SS?
That was my friend's take. I mean, you have to know your history in order to get what he was, going after. And I said, exactly. I won't be frequenting that particular business.
Well, let's be clear. We're not going there anyways, right?
I've been there.
You have?
I've been there twice. I just said that. I said it before I even went into the whole, I have been to this particular location twice to drink and play games with friends. It's a fun place. If you're going to require me to show vaccination proof, I'm not going to frequent your business. I will take my money to another restaurant or business that doesn't require such stupidity. And somehow that turned into my friend who owns a business and me being racist because we responded that we would not frequent that particular business. How is not going to a restaurant or business that requires proof of vaccination racist? How did that happen? Where did that ridiculousness come from? Somebody tell me how that is even possible. So me not going to a restaurant that says, we want to see your vaccination card, and me saying, well, I'm not going then. Kimberly, you're racist. What?
Yeah.
People have lost their minds.
Just jumping to a conclusion they want to get to.
Lost their minds. I'll even tell you who it was. I'll read the exact quote on Twitter.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a scoop.
It's not a scoop. It's just, it's craziness is what it is. This woman responds, well, first off, people say no one's going to miss you. Oh, no one's going to miss you.
It wasn't Lori, was it?
It was not.
Okay, good.
So I have to go back and find it because
it wasn't John.
It was a girl.
Brian, was it?
It was a girl named Midnight on Midnight on Twitter at TSMDNT at TSMDNT. And it says, ignorant responses next to each other is a bit on the nose. #clan, even for Rochester. I mean, how does not going to that restaurant make us racist if they want to see our proof of vaccination?
They just want to say it. It's Twitter.
You've watered the word down. It means nothing anymore.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
It means absolutely nothing. What you've
so
done
a business
to real
establishment.
racism,
right,
is now like the little boy who called wolf, right? Racism, it's so overused and used when it's not appropriate. It's lost all of its power. It really has.
Sure.
You look at this and you go, okay. You can't argue with stupid.
How many likes did they get?
I don't even know. 5.
5. Whoa.
5.
Well, that's not bad.
5 stupid people liked what that guy had to say. Yeah, because my friend responded, it's his business and he can do what he wants. After all, he's just following orders. And I wrote, exactly, I will not be going to that establishment. And then someone said, I'm sure tons of folks grabbed this screenshot. Like, you're going to get me in trouble.
Because you're not going to a restaurant?
Because I'm not going to a restaurant that wants to see my vaccine card. We're going to get her in trouble and screenshot this. What about my comment was racist?
I don't have a clue.
Right?
That makes no sense to me.
So my friend who I reached out to and I said, you got to ignore the crazy. And my friend says, well, I'm going to be off social media for a while because
the owner is Jewish, right? So
the owner of the restaurant
so
is Jewish.
if anything, it would be Semitic. It wouldn't be racist, right?
I don't really give a rat's ass what your religious background is. If I like your restaurant or business, I'm going, right?
I'm just reaching for straws here.
It's crazy. Kevin says, hey, you guys, you should see what's happening in Brighton. OMG, BLM is attacking the Jews. I did see that. I know that there are certain factions behind that we won't talk about here
right
on the We the People podcast network on Kimberly's Revolution, only because the people leading that charge are real estate agents. And under the rules of the Greater Rochester Association of Realtors, we are not able to comment publicly.
So we won't.
So we will not.
All right, next topic.
But we have seen what's going on in Brighton.
Nothing to see in Brighton. Move along.
And it should scare everyone.
All right. What else you got, Kimberly?
That's all I'm going to say.
What else you got?
Don't be scared.
Oh, I'm scared.
Don't be scared because I didn't say anything.
I'm naked and afraid over here.
Don't be scared. See, that's what it is. Everyone wants you to be afraid to speak up. Cuomo wants you to be afraid to speak up. People that are power hungry and want control of you want you to be afraid to speak up. You cannot be afraid. Look where we are. The second shutdown is coming, right? It is.
Where are we?
They're not going to let you into businesses because you don't have a vax card.
Where's the don't be stupid button?
Fuck you. I'm going to go wherever I want to go.
Yeah.
Right?
It's my money. I can do what I want.
Spend it where I want.
Yep.
There you go.
I could get a blue light at any establishment.
Kevin says it's okay. I'll steamroll them again at the next meeting. I hope so, Kevin. Go get them. Someone's got to.
Do they have unlimited peanuts and bar snacks there?
I don't think that Free Palestine is a great sign to put up in Brighton, right? Free Palestine is not the right sign for the town of Brighton. Got to get rid of that.
All right.
Got to get those out. And it's certainly not the right place at Brighton High School. I mean, we know the Palestinians are terrorists.
All right. What else you got? Show's over.
What is wrong with you? What's wrong with people?
I'm non-confrontational.
Wrong show, buddy. Wrong show.
I'm just here for the one-liners.
There we go. So I will. So I am flying out to Charleston tomorrow.
Are you going to be drinking on your flight?
And it's a very short flight.
So three
short
drinks.
Flight. Those BLM colonizers will be defeated. All right, very good, Kevin. I'm going to leave it up to you to fight the good fight, my man.
Let's leave it there.
I'm just pissed that people are going to ask to see my vax card, and that's what makes me mad.
Is there a black market for those yet? Can you get in trouble for those? It's like having a fake driver's license when you're 18.
I don't even know.
Can you get a fake vax card?
Why? Just go where you're wanted.
Really?
Yeah.
How much does it cost to get a fake vax card? Does anybody know?
Let the other businesses go broke.
I'll give $50 for one. Has anybody got one?
There's a guy, and he's 22 years old, and he's from Ohio, and he was on a flight to Florida, and he decided that he was going to play Governor Cuomo and try to grope a couple of the flight attendants.
Oh, that didn't go well.
I guess he saw that Governor Cuomo could get away with it, so why can't he? He's a guy from Ohio. He's a little drunk.
Just a regular guy.
You could use a little feely from the flight attendants. Not so much.
Yeah.
Here's a guy. He had a little meltdown, had a couple of too many drinks, and he tried to grope the chest of two female flight attendants. And he punched a male flight attendant in the face. That's when someone just needed to clock him big time and knock him down on the ground and just step on his head. That's what you need to do to teach these guys something. I do believe we have a part of the video. It's a news story about this idiot. And here we go. Stop being stupid on planes.
This morning, a Frontier Airlines flight from Philadelphia to Miami
Frontier.
turned violent. A man is under arrest accused of assaulting a male flight attendant and inappropriately touching two female flight attendants. A passenger's cell phone captured that outburst, which turned physical.
He started to get aggressive and then basically attack the male flight attendants.
There he is.
22-year-old Maxwell Berry
he's just
was
a Trump
arrested on 3
supporter.
counts of battery. The police report said Berry groped the chests of female flight attendants and had several drinks while on the flight. He was duct taped to his seat until the flight landed and police handcuffed him.
Look at the idiot. He was duct taped to his seat.
They weren't wearing masks.
It
were
happens.
Were they wearing masks on the plane? I don't think they were.
Can we go back to see that real quick? Can you fast forward
This morning,
through it?
a Frontier
or no?
Airlines flight from Philadelphia, male flight attendant, passenger cell phone.
The attack.
The police report said Berry groped the chests of female flight attendants and had several drinks while on the flight.
Oh,
He
he's got
was
one
Some-
duct
some
taped to
people
his
are.
seat until the flight landed
Some
and
people
police handcuffed him.
It's a nice plane.
Some Frontier. Me personally, I'm not flying Frontier
Aren't
or
they
Spirit.
cheap?
Frontier and Spirit.
Yeah.
I'm not flying them. But it doesn't matter because American, I think, canceled 650 flights yesterday. And you see just as much of this nonsense going on Delta and American and JetBlue flights as you do any other. I mean, it's not just, specific to one particular airline. This happens the bad behavior happens everywhere. I've never been on a plane where anyone was stupid like this. So I've been on a plane where the girl behind me puked the entire flight,
Nice.
but I've never been on a plane when someone was doing that kind of craziness.
So what's the answer to all this? Everybody has to get taped to their chair and so that nobody moves and nobody touches anybody. Is this like your
Don't
kids?
touch me.
See, you only had one kid,
Yeah.
so you don't know what the "you stop touching me" game is, right? When your kids are in the back seat.
It's bad if you have one kid and they're doing that.
Right. When they're in the back
Yeah.
seat, it's like, will you stop touching your sister?
Yeah.
Dad, he's touching me. Stop touching her.
Yeah, I had brothers that did that. I guess played that game, but no,
Yeah, that's what we call the
I-
"you stop touching me"
I
game.
just had the one kid, so I didn't have that. I didn't have that thing.
All
so
right.
so that's the deal. But yeah, so the people did have a mask on in the plane. I think on the plane you have to actually wear your mask. You're
Yeah,
supposed to.
Just a
unless you're
crazy Trump
drunk,
supporter.
Unless you're drunk and you're stupid and you're groping the flight attendants, which is a little crazy. Here is how vile and repulsive some Democrats are when it comes to how they feel about other human beings that might be Republican. It shouldn't matter that if you're Republican or you're Democrat. If you get COVID, you don't hope for anyone. You never hope for anyone to die, right?
No, I would
You
think I would think that that's kind of not appropriate.
You don't
Yes.
wish ill on anyone.
No.
There was someone on Twitter last week that said that
You could think it, right? But you just can't say it.
you can. Well, I don't even know if you should think it. I think that's bad juju, right? I think that's bad mojo if you
Well,
if you
stuff
think
just
something like that.
comes into your mind, it's like,
I
well,
hope they die.
yeah, every once in a while.
That's it's not a great thing to hope for. So I had posted something on Twitter last week, and this girl said, "Oh, you're still around. I was hoping that you would have contracted some big disease and gone away." And I'm like, I've had a big disease. It was called breast cancer, and I wouldn't wish it on my own worst enemy. And all of a sudden, her tweet disappeared. I mean, she can't. I don't think she ever expected me to respond, but you can't write that to people.
So you played the breast cancer card?
You can say a lot of things. It's not the breast cancer card. I had breast cancer.
I know.
I went through the treatment. I had 2 surgeries. I went through radiation. It's not fun.
I can imagine.
But this girl, she is a Rhode Island Democratic strategist. She is a top consultant for Rhode Island's Democratic Party, who probably maybe shouldn't have her job today. But she tweeted last night.
Yeah, she should get fired for that.
That Senator Lindsey Graham's COVID diagnosis, she says, is it wrong to hope he dies from COVID? Asking for a friend. Hashtag COVID is not over. Hashtag Lindsey Graham.
Oh, so she didn't ask for it. The friend of hers did.
Is it really?
You don't believe that?
Hashtag asking for a friend.
Yeah.
We all know what that is.
It was Nancy.
And
Nancy did it.
They play that game on Twitter because they think it sounds funny and cute and witty. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
But the Rhode Island Democratic Party chair, Joe McNamara, said that the party in Rhode Island, the Democratic Party, is now reviewing her contract. Kate Coyne McCoy. And someone should review her contract, Kate Coyne McCoy. Because saying that you hope someone dies of COVID is a really bad thing, an immature thing to say.
It's disgusting.
You can't. I mean, I said some stupid shit, right? But I've never said, I hope someone doesn't die.
No. Why would you?
I hope someone dies. I've never said that.
Why would you?
Lindsey Graham, who is vaccinated, announced yesterday that he tested positive for COVID, which just brings us to the next question. You can still get COVID and pass COVID along, even if you're vaccinated. So about that shot.
You're getting it?
How good is that shot? No, of course I'm not getting the shot. I'm not getting the shot because in my personal opinion, it doesn't work.
Plus you already know you're asymptomatic.
There's a lot of money in shots and boosters at a matter of fact, right? Pfizer is forecasting $33.5 billion in COVID vaccine sales this year.
Stock is at an all-time high.
Pfizer is forecasting $33.5 billion in COVID vaccine sales this year, a 29% jump from previous estimates just 2 months ago.
Oh, at least the high for this year.
And it's anticipation of selling that booster.
Yeah.
So they're getting rich. What do we always say? Follow the money. Follow the money and you'll find the answers to all your questions. They're insisting you get a vax. Who's profiting off of Big Pharma? Who's profiting off of Pfizer? The people that are mandating the vaccines. Yeah. Here in this state, we're going to mandate the vaccine. And I'll tell you what's going to happen. We're going to give you a percentage of that $35.5 billion under the table. You won't be able to track it. Don't think that shiatsu doesn't happen. It happens every single day.
Yep. They pay great dividends, Kimberly.
They certainly do. The bottom line is the boosters are a big money-making venture for Pfizer and Moderna.
Huge.
Billions and billions of dollars. So now they say, oh, you know what? The biotech and the Pfizer say, after a couple of months, our effectiveness drops from 95% to about 75%. So you're going to need that booster. And then we're going to get even richer and richer and richer. And there you go.
It's COVID. It's big business. It's big business.
So who's bringing a lot of the COVID and the Delta variant into the United States?
The Russians.
Take a look at this video from Texas. Take a look at this video in Texas. There is a crisis in Texas, but now everyone is looking. There's nothing to see here. Nothing going on in Texas. Take a look at this picture of immigrants being held under a bridge, and thousands of them.
It's disgusting.
Thousands. Yeah. No one's sick there, I'm sure, right?
I was in a line like that once at Space Mountain.
Thousands of illegals held under a bridge in the southern border in Texas. An absolute catastrophe from President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris.
No spreading any COVID there.
Where are the president and the vice president on this? Hashtag border crisis should be a big hashtag for that tweet.
It's a nice looking bridge.
And that bridge. Would look at. I mean, isn't that nuts? It's a bridge in Mission, Texas.
It's a bridge too far.
and it looks like it holds up to 1,000 people. And so you're wondering on the southern border, it can't be a big deal. All the immigrants coming over. I mean, yeah, they probably have COVID. Yeah, they're spreading it. They're taking them to hotels and they're telling them to stay there. And one big family of 7 went to a restaurant. Every single one of them tested positive for COVID. Here's a guy that, can you imagine being a homeowner on the border in southern Texas? Could you imagine?
No.
Here's a guy who said they have done over $60,000 to his property, and he gets help from no one. I think we have that video. It's from Fox News.
Our next guest is no stranger to these problems. He estimates he's sustained $60,000 worth of damage on his land alone. Texas rancher and Kinney County attorney Brent Smith joins us right now from Texas. Good morning, Brent.
Morning. How are y'all doing?
Doing okay. So tell us about the $60,000 worth of damage that you've seen.
We've had a lot of property damage. Our county's basically at the epicenter of an invasion, in my view. The loss of fences, the extra personnel cost. There's even, ranchers in our area having to hire private security to defend their own property rights in America.
That is crazy.
Us Americans in this part of Texas we don't have the same rights as other people do. We can't enjoy our property and go in our backyards anymore at night. It's a tragedy.
Well, in addition to a landowner, Brent, you're also the county attorney there. Currently, there's no legal recourse landowners have to get any sort of remuneration back from anybody, insurance companies, the federal government, which is allowing this migration. Nobody?
No, sir, not at this point. The security or the insurance companies, if it's a stolen vehicle that goes through the property, their vehicle insurance is going to pay for it, and ours won't either. So the landowners are stuck with paying for this. And just on my property alone that we have here, it's over $60,000 that we've spent. And I know there's several others on a daily basis that have big expenses.
Sure.
And not just that, but the livestock that gets down the roads. If, a vehicle hits that cow, the ranchers are considered being liable.
How about that? So they're cutting the fences and they're ruining the fences of these landowners along the southern border. And if cows get out or if horses get out and someone hits them, then you can be sued. You're liable for that. But the federal government isn't doing anything, and they're certainly not doing anything to stop the illegal immigrants from coming over. In fact, Department of Homeland Security in the next 2 weeks alone will encounter over 180,000 immigrants at the southern border. 180,000.
Wow.
I mean, it's an incredible number. And up north, we don't see it because it's not right in front of us. I mean, we don't know what's going on in Texas. We're not there. All we see are pictures. Pictures don't really do justice of what's going on at the southern border. It is a horrible situation, and this administration is doing nothing to stop it.
And the media is not reporting.
And the media is not, because it's not sexy. It's only sexy if Donald Trump is keeping kids in cages.
Even
though it's the
other ones that were keeping kids in cages.
Right, exactly.
Right. And now they're under a bridge because the cages were too dangerous.
There were no cages. I mean, there were no cages.
Even Biden had them in cages.
Of course.
And now that they're under a bridge because they're not in a cage. They're under a bridge.
Kate says, I'm in France watching the podcast.
Nice.
Kate, I love it. Ooh la la, français.
Have a glass of wine.
That's about as bilingual as I get.
Je m'appelle Katie.
What you just said. Speaking of money that you have to spend on your house.
Oh, it's actually, I said my name is Katie is what I said.
Here in the state of New York, well, here in this area of upstate New York, if you say you want a property inspection when you're buying a house and there are about 15 other people putting offers in on the same house, which is what we're experiencing. If you ask for a property inspection, the agent that is the agent for the seller are going to look at this and go, oh, they want a property inspection? Next.
Right.
Because offers aren't being accepted that want property inspections. But in Pennsylvania, this couple bought an old farmhouse outside of Pennsylvania in a town called Skip-Pack. I don't know where Skip-Pack is, but it's outside of Philadelphia somewhere. And they bought a house.
Is it near CPAC?
They bought a house in December, and the sellers actually did disclose that there was bees in the wall, that there were bees in the wall. of the house. That was
All right.
on the statement.
Caveat emptor.
On the property disclosure report, bees in the wall. That's what it said. But since the couple bought the home in the winter, the buyer said, we didn't see any bees. So we thought, how bad could it be? Well, 450,000 bees have been living in the walls of this farmhouse for 35 years. We have the picture. There's
Sounds
the picture.
like a great movie.
There is the
theme.
picture. She says, we were just so floored that we actually found land in the school district that we wanted that was within our price range. So we didn't ask any questions about the bees. We just bought the property without a property inspection. She said, I kind of figured in the spring we might see one or two, but what we got was clearly more than that.
Did the realtors get paid?
$12,000 later is what it cost them to remove the bees and fix the damage caused by the bees. And you can't kill the bees because honeybees are protected, right? Beekeepers across the country, I mean, their bees are down, right? Because they're just kind of disappearing, the colonies. So
Can't they just open up a honey stand?
The couple didn't do the home inspection, and now they said they probably should have opted for one.
Right.
You think? Maybe? But there you go. $12,000 to fix and remove the unwanted bees that were in the walls of the house for over 35 years. And you're thinking, why didn't the previous owners do anything about it? I don't know. I can't answer that question. I don't live in that house.
They like bees.
So I don't know.
Maybe they go to sleep at night, not with the fan or the air conditioning, but the humming of the bees.
She
puts
said
them
there
to
was
sleep.
so much dirt on the windows. She thought it was dirt on the windows. And now it turns out it wasn't dirt on the windows. It was honey that had been dripping from the ceiling portion of some of the walls in the house.
That sounds like a great theme for a horror movie.
You even
doesn't it?
imagine?
Yeah.
And they had to hire a guy to come in and professionally handle the whole thing. I mean, there's the farmhouse. It's an old farmhouse. I don't know if you can see that, but there you go.
All right.
So that is why you need to do a property inspection. All right. Do we have just Tom's take?
Yeah, I got a couple quick things.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of time here. We ran a little long here. Okay. The CDC came out.
We didn't run long. What do you?
The CDC came out with level 4 guidelines as to destinations. Level 4.
Okay.
Okay. That
like
means
Ireland, you can't go to Ireland and St. Martin. Yeah.
Big COVID breakout.
Yeah. You know
So
what?
Lori,
Screw them. I'll go where I want.
Lori, hello. Lori, okay. Get the airline tickets because there's going to be some cheap ass rooms and cheap airline tickets. There's some nice places on here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
St. Martin.
Yes, I've been there.
It's phenomenal.
It's
the
beautiful.
U.S. Virgin Islands. Martinique is on here.
I've not been to Martinique, but I've been to
great.
St. Martin.
No, I mean, there's Libya and Kazakhstan and Iran and
I'm not going there.
Greece is on here.
Greece, yeah.
Malta.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some nice places.
Not going to Malta.
There's some nice places.
Not going to Yemen.
Let's get the corporate jet. Let's get the corporate jet fueled up. And
do we have a corporate jet?
No,
we don't have a corporate jet.
No. Okay. Protecting your mental health. There was a story in the New York Times today.
I'm already crazy. What do I do now? I've been on that crazy train for years. Nothing I can do about it now, Tom.
Snowflake alert here.
Okay.
Protecting your mental health has been inspired by Simone Biles. Okay.
Who, by the way, phoned it in and won a bronze.
Yeah. Good job.
Phoned it in, won a bronze.
Okay. You know what they're
Yay,
calling
Simone.
it?
Sorry.
They're saying that you should use your sick days for mental health. Do you know what she's calling it? Sad days. That if you're having a sad day, that it's good for your mental health to use one of your sick days if you're sad. Okay.
Okay, that's great for Simone, but what happens when you only have 11 sick days and some of us in the workforce can't afford to take a sick day because we might need those down the line? See, we don't have millions of endorsements behind us.
It's
we don't have millions of
it's
endorsements.
called a sad day.
Fuck that. Get happy. If you're sad, get happy. Listen, some of us just can't take random sick days because we actually need those for when we get sick. And there are people out there that don't even get paid for sick days.
Okay. It's
Hey,
just,
you know what? Just take a day and don't get paid for it, people.
Right.
And then you won't be able to feed your kids. You won't be able to pay your rent. But no worries. Simone says, take a sad day if you need one.
Well, she didn't.
Jesus Christ, the stupidity.
She didn't. It's just
All right.
inspired
Okay.
by
Yeah,
her.
yeah. Great.
Okay. Do you know that we have herd immunity in white-tailed deer now?
Kevin wants to know, what if it's a sad day every day?
Right.
I know. I feel you, Kevin. I'm sad every freaking day. No,
Okay.
I'm not.
Herd immunity has happened. It's not with people, it's with deer.
Yeah.
40% of the samples of white-tailed deer out of 600 deer sampled have asymptomatic infections for COVID.
Okay. Are you getting close to a deer? Oh, dear.
Well, the point is they found antibodies in deer.
Okay.
So for some reason, we're freaking testing deer for antibodies, but we don't test people for it. But we test deer, right?
Oh, dear.
Right. Okay. 30 million white-tailed deer in the United States.
Okay.
Asymptomatic infections. Okay. I got flip over here. We don't want to talk about that. Okay.
You got one
the
more?
last thing.
The last thing.
Molson Coors Brewing
Yeah. Yum.
are discontinuing 11 beers. They're just getting rid of them.
Which beers? Obviously not popular ones.
Oh, there's a couple in here that,
Really?
that,
Okay,
you know,
okay.
that I grew up on.
Okay. That you grew up on, but when's the last time you had one? Okay, you grew up on them, but when's
Keystone?
the last time? Okay, you've never had a Keystone in your life.
Oh, yeah, I've had a lot of Keystones.
Okay, 20 years ago doesn't count.
Old Milwaukee's Best.
Okay.
Milwaukee's Best.
Doesn't count. 20 years ago.
All right.
In fact, I had a boyfriend. His name was Jeff. He used to always drink Old Milwaukee's Best when he was poor, when he had no money.
Hams.
Hams. I drank hams too with that guy.
Ice House.
These should be beers that Kimberly drank with Jeff back in the day.
All right. Tell me.
Ice House, the Old Milwaukee.
Tell me if any of these you've had.
Keystone.
Hams.
Yes.
Henry.
I haven't. Hams, a beer refreshing.
Henry Weinart's Private Reserve.
Don't know what it is.
Ice House.
Yes.
Keystone Light and Keystone Ice.
Yes.
Magnum.
No. Which condoms?
Right. The ribbed ones. Mickey's
For her
Fine.
pleasure.
Mickey's Fine Malt Liquor.
Mickey Mouse?
Miller High Life Light. Miller. They're getting rid of Miller High Life
Yes,
Light.
I have had. Okay, who drinks it?
Milwaukee's Best. Old English High 800
No.
and Steel Reserve
No.
211.
No, never had those.
All right.
Never
well,
had those.
It's a
But I've
sad
had
day.
I've had some of them.
Milwaukee's Best is gone.
Can't. Well, we're not going to miss it. See you later.
You can
We're not going to. You know what? Life is too short to drink bad beer. So just drink.
replace
good
it with
beer.
Jenny Light.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. All right. That's going to do it for Kimberly's Revolution.
Save the bills.
Please make sure that you support our advertisers, Fantuzzo's Acupuncture, Taylor Heating and Cooling, Precision Lawn and Garden, and Express Sealers. They support us, so we want you to frequent and support them if you can. If you need a little acupuncture, Fantuzzo's is the way to go. They'll loosen up your neck. They help with infertility and headaches, and they can do a lot of good if you're feeling some pain or vertigo or whatever it is. They can help you out. And of course, Taylor Heating and Cooling for all of your heating and cooling needs. Precision Lawn and Garden for any lawn mowing or snow blowers. I didn't even want to think of winter, but it's Rochester.
coming.
It's coming. And Express Sealers if you need your driveway sealed. These guys are great. So check them out. And of course, as we always say,
God bless. Be kind to others.
Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.